It was a cast.
Welcome to the show.
It was a cast.
Gary's in the hospital
It was a cast.
with the lightning round.
It was a cast.
The podcast.
With Tom and Matt. I'm Matt,
And I'm Tom.
and welcome to Casting Broad. This week we are doing Halloween with what is possibly our most contrived opening song of all time.
Hey.
But
That is true. But can we just say, yay, clean intro.
Yeah, fairly true. Yeah, fairly clean. Nice.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's going to
good.
be the downfall here. Maybe this is going to be a crap episode because we nailed the intro.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. But don't jinx it, Tom, because
Okay.
you don't want to be superstitious. But as usual, before we get into, what should we do before this? I guess we'll put this into the correction. So, see, already off to a wrong start.
There we go. That's better. Now I feel more comfortable.
Let's get into the Department of Corrections.
So we're going to do it ourselves this week. We'll get into later why, so I'll just hit that button.
No, it's, I'll send it into the hospital. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Gary's going to be bedridden, right? So
he'll
he's
do it
got
in-
nothing else to do.
He's going to do it in post?
He's got to have a laptop in there, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll send him to him post. Unfortunately, last week, we, for anyone who's been a long-time listener, or at least listened to last week's episode,
Long time fan.
or didn't listen to last week's episode, I guess, we cut off Gary's finger,
Yeah.
which is, part of the lightning round, sort of, Tom nominated. We didn't realise that Gary was a hemophiliac.
Yeah. He didn't realise that either, actually.
No,
He didn't know
yeah.
himself.
We found that out from the back alley doctor.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he had to go to a real hospital after that because...
But lucky we live in New Zealand with such great healthcare,
Yeah, true,
You know?
true.
where you can claim ACC on these things.
Yeah.
He just said it was a rugby accident, actually, to the doctor. We
Right.
coached him into... But borderline bullied him a little bit, just so we were...
Sometimes you got to protect number one, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit guilty, though, because it was sort of, that whole thing about the ancient text saying you could nominate someone
Yeah.
wasn't actually true.
See, I was full too, though. You had me full too, buddy.
It was
You
just
brought in a parchment,
a little practical joke.
Yeah.
I didn't...
and it looked authentic. You had done little tea stains on it. You'd burnt around the edges.
I had used an actual ink and quill at home.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I don't know. Look, sometimes you make a well-intentioned joke and things just go a little bit... go a little bit...
So,
a little bit sour. Go a little bit... What's the expression for that?
South?
South. Yeah, they go a bit south. Yeah.
And just the last we heard, we called the hospital this morning, and the last we heard from Gary's doctor, it's about sort of a 45% chance he's going to pull through. So,
Okay.
and that's an improvement. Earlier in the week it was sort of just hovering around 35. So
Yeah.
he's getting stronger. good.
He's gained consciousness, hasn't he?
Not that I'd heard.
Because I was going to say, a 45% chance. That sounds really grim for someone who's
It is.
talking.
It is grim. It is grim. He was never always there with it. He's never 100%. So that's the thing. You got to consider when you hear these stats. Already, a healthy day for Gary. That's sort of like a 70% chance that he's going to make it through the day, as it is.
Right. Well, that
all he eats is donuts. That's going to do you in.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's true. It's not really. We could blame ourselves about cutting his finger off, but really, it's not all on us, is it?
Maybe it's the wake up call he needs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Maybe that text message I got him about him being conscious was a bit premature from his
Possibly.
partner. But we'll try to give him a phone call. I'll tell you what later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's a good
and
idea.
see if he's ready to talk or if he's up and about.
I like that.
See how it's going.
Hear from the man himself.
In the meantime, though, on to the corrections from last week.
Yep.
Do you have any? It might be a bit top heavy this week. I got a few to go over.
I got
A couple.
nada, mate.
Nada? All right.
Nada. I'm
All
a
right.
clean conscience man.
Let's get the longer one out of the way. Neither is really long, I'm sure, but we were talking about, or you were asking, and I didn't know the answer.
Yeah, go on.
We're talking about the Police 10-7 video with the guy just waiting for a mate.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a mate. And we were wondering how they managed to show his face
Yeah.
because, why would you sign a release for such an embarrassing piece of footage?
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, we had the actual producer of that show, by
How about that?
pure coincidence, come and talk to our class. And I asked him, and it turns out that piece of footage was illegally obtained.
Yeah.
It leaked from the show. It never aired on television.
By the guy who
that is a
actually was waiting for a
YouTube
mate.
exclusive. Yeah.
It's leaked by the man himself.
Oh, really?
He just really wanted to get it on. No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
definitely
okay,
not.
right. Like I say, I didn't remember that part of the lecture. But yeah, there's the answer, people. That is a YouTube exclusive video. And the other thing I want to bring up,
Go on.
we're talking about whether
Go on, bud.
it's Dachshund.
Still unsure.
Well, I looked up the pronunciation of
Yeah.
that on YouTube. It is in fact Dachshund. Pronounce it X.
See, what's that though? Because I don't know what people do in other countries, but I know in New Zealand, a good 95% of us say
CH.
Dachshund.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now that may be mispronouncing it.
Common mispronunciation, yeah.
But it's that. Do you want to turn around and say Adidas all of a sudden, or do you just plough through with Adidas? You know,
Is it called Adidas?
as far as I know,
Really?
yeah. You get Europeans and they're like, well, it's actually Adidas.
You know, another one of those actually, and this is a funny one where the pronunciation is way more basic than you'd think.
All right, go on.
Moe is Moet. It's exactly how it's spelled. Yeah.
See, that's
so everyone's
sneaky,
trying to be
though.
all fancy and like Moe or no, as opposed to Moe, like the way unfashionable that class people say. But both of them are wrong. It's Moet because it's a French champagne, but it's Dutch winemakers, so they pronounce the hard T.
Moet.
Moet.
Know your wines.
How it's spelt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
You used to sell wine, eh?
Yeah, I did.
Is that where
yeah.
you learned that?
Yes, I did.
There you
yes.
go.
Yeah. There you go.
Healthy stuff.
One thing as well, just not a correction, but just a funny aside before we get into it. I was looking up that Dachshund pronunciation YouTube
Yep.
video, and I'd heard that if you ever follow the user for those videos, you'll find just reams of pronunciation videos for everything you can imagine.
Really?
Because, I mean, Dachshund, right? It's a fairly obscure word. I guess it's a mispronounced
So
one.
what is it? Can I just get it? Just get it clean. What is the pronunciation here?
Well, I mean, I think it's Dachshund. But, I guess we would say Dachshund. Like, Dachshund would be fine in New Zealand because you're not pronouncing like a German person.
Yeah.
But the saying sh as opposed to the x is maybe just a little bit too classless. Like, it's just not what the pronunciation is supposed to be. But
Okay.
I don't think you have to say hund, but you should say Dax.
Is this why people just go a sausage dog? Because they just can't be fucked with all the pronunciation?
Pretty much.
Malarkey.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So I clicked one of the links and I was scrolling through like different words to pronounce. Tom, according to this pronunciation video series, would you like to know how to pronounce yes in the context of saying yes to prom?
You know, I woke up this morning and I had that exact thought.
So you want to know how to say yes to prom?
Do I ever?
Yes to prom. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's how you say yes to prom.
Go
Tom.
on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
Do you have to do that voice? Is that part of the pronunciation?
Apparently. So
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Well, does that go for dates as well, or is that just to prom specifically?
I don't know. I would assume for dates. Although honestly, if I ask a girl to prom, or we say to dance over here, or
Yeah.
formal. If I asked a girl to formal and she said yes, I'd be like, if you don't want to go, you can just say that. No, I'm gonna say anything. Yes.
I want to use that just beyond prom. So.
Yeah.
Just what kind of coffee do you want? Yes. It doesn't even make sense. No, I need a typeser. Yes.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, yeah, that's how you say yes to prom. Okay, I guess that is Department of Corrections. Done.
Boom.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for that, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, so yeah, this week we are doing Halloween.
This is the first week we've done something on theme or topical or slightly topical at least.
Well, every week's a topic, but you mean theme to the number?
In
Oh
terms
no,
of
you mean to the
what's going on in the world?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to do horror. Just
Horror.
Or I initially raised the idea of doing horror or spookiness or ghosts simply because it was by pure coincidence episode number 13.
Yeah.
But then it also ended up to
13, baby.
coincide pretty much perfectly with Halloween week. So how is that for a stroke of fate, huh?
Yeah?
What are the odds of that?
You like that?
Because we didn't start this podcast when we did just going, and this means the 13 will fall on this week. That was just by total luck.
Yeah.
So that's like 1 in 52 odds or whatever, right?
Buddy, I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever.
But I'll
okay.
go with I'll run with 1 in 52
Yeah,
odds.
all right. Yeah, Halloween. I don't know. Do you have any Halloween stories you want to talk about?
No,
or-
none actually.
None? All right,
none
sweet.
whatsoever.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. This has
Yeah.
been a great episode.
Right, let's roll that theme.
It was well, okay, let me get things started then while you're mulling things over.
Yep.
I was thinking about this and thinking about the Salem witch trials,
Oh yeah.
which I guess I should have looked up the origins of Halloween, because I don't know if Halloween is technically Salem witch trial related or whatever, but...
It's all part of
It's,
it.
yeah.
It's all spooky stuff, you know. You got your witches, you got your black cats, you got your broomsticks.
And just thinking, like, I
You
know
got
we
your
have...
potions.
I know we have plenty of, like, superstitious people, or, you know, superstitions and superstitious people around today, but thank God you weren't around then. I mean, not just because of the plagues,
Fuck
and everything,
yeah.
but people just blaming the plagues on you.
Yeah, dude.
Just, I was listening to Sam Harris's podcast,
Oh.
and he was talking about, like, some lady who had been previously suspected of witchcraft, just went for a wander, and then it started raining, and people were like, gee, I fucking knew
Oh my
it.
God.
You know, and they would have these things where they would accuse you of being a witch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you just admitted to it, okay, that's life in prison. Or if you deny it, they'll just torture you horribly until you know, admit to it, and then you go to
shit,
prison.
man.
And
You go.
admitting to it isn't even enough. If you want to have like a decent life in prison, you've also got to name your accomplices, which obviously there were never any because there were no fucking witches.
So you just got to throw people under the bus.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh shit! Was there ever throughout history the equivalent Salem witch trials, Salem wizard trials, fellas?
Well,
Ran out
men
the
were
fellas in the
accused
life.
of being
Ooh.
witches too. It was definitely predominantly women, but there were some men. That's what I was thinking too. I was
can
thinking it'd
get
be
the male
wizards
witch.
or sorcerers or whatever. To be fair, I only quickly glanced through Wikipedia, and they just mentioned that at the Salem witch trials that
By today's standards, that's thorough research, bud.
yeah, but it was something like 17 women were hung and 4 men.
Oh,
but
God.
it didn't say witches and wizards, it just said witch trials. So I simply
Yeah, yeah.
extrapolated from that they were being hung as, quote, witches. Perhaps it was warlocks
Hmm.
or sorcerers or something like that. But
What I don't get is there was
dark magic, people.
this lady goes for a walk and then it starts raining, right? And then whatever guy, for whatever reason, he
This one
really
always
didn't want it to
reminds
rain probably that day. Maybe it was flooded and points a finger. She's a witch.
Yeah.
Now, if she's a witch, surely she's going to have some witchcraft. She's going to be able to turn around and fuck you up.
Just get in a broomstick and fly away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say? I mean, go on the offensive.
At no point, like, what witch
Yeah,
would
why wouldn't they
simply
afraid?
protest and say I'm innocent?
Yeah.
If they're really a witch.
They're just holding trials in these little timber-built courthouses with their little hammers.
God,
Really, you think
right.
that's going to save you from the dark arts? Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense, does it? But speaking of things that don't make logical sense, I was looking at some of the tests they had for witches back in the day.
Oh, lay them on me.
Well, the first one...
I'm going to make a prediction now. I reckon I'll probably fail a few of these.
First one you might... They're kind of built to that. First one... This seven, I only did 2. But the first one you might know of, because I remember hearing about this in primary school. It's sort of like one of the ultimate stupidities from history.
Yep.
But the swimming test... Okay, so part of the infamous, quote, swimming test... accused witches were dragged to the nearest body of water, stripped to their undergarments, bound and then tossed in to see if they would sink or float. Since the witches were believed to have spurned the sacrament of baptism, it was thought that the water would reject their body and prevent them from submerging. According to the logic, an innocent person would sink like a stone, but a witch would simply bob on the surface. The victim typically... the victim typically had a rope tied around their waists so they could be pulled from the water if they sank, but it wasn't unusual for accidental drowning deaths to occur, you know. So that's really a double whammy, isn't it?
There's a lot of witches then in the world.
Yeah, and a
Apparently.
lot of, the buoyancy of witches. But yeah, wouldn't anyone, if you don't have your arms ready to swim or your legs, you're bound, everyone would sink, right? Do they ever have someone who just floated on top normal?
So they can't kick or...
No, because they
Oh,
just see
shit.
because they knew people could swim,
Yep.
but I mean, there wouldn't ever be a case of someone bobbing on the water, right? After
if you
like the
took a
100th
massive
time,
breath?
wouldn't you,
A massive breath. Would your lungs be able to fill with enough air to get you on top?
I don't know, you're asking the wrong guy, dude.
Why's that?
What?
You look really offended. What have I said?
I'm not offended, but are you asking the wrong guy? I don't know what happens if you fill your lungs with air.
Oh, I thought you meant like something to do with your lungs specifically.
No.
It's like, I don't have lungs, Tom. You're asking the wrong guy.
No. I mean, I may smoke quite a bit, but my lungs can still hold air. Yeah.
A lot of smoke, actually.
But yeah, true. Maybe they're stronger. Take up smoking, kids.
There you go.
But yeah, don't know. you need to ask a witch doctor. Now, number 2. This is actually my favourite.
This is more of the test?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is my favourite.
Again, feel like I'm going to fail this one.
Medieval wisdom held that... Oh, so this is called the prayer test.
Yep.
Medieval wisdom held that witches were incapable of speaking scripture aloud, so accused sorcerers were made to recite selections from the Bible, usually the Lord's Prayer, without making mistakes or omissions.
Oh, no.
While it may have simply been a sign that the suspected witch was illiterate or nervous, as you would be, better not fuck this up or I get burnt to death. Alive, any errors were viewed as proof that the speaker was in league with the devil. This twisted test of public speaking ability was commonly used as hard evidence in witch trials. In 1712, it was applied in the case of Jane Wyndham, an accused witch who supposedly struggled to speak the words, "Forgive us our trespasses, and lead us not into temptation," during her interrogation. Still, okay, this is my favourite part, okay, this is why it's, alright. Still, even a successful prayer test didn't guarantee an acquittal. During the Salem witch trials, the accused sorcerer George Burroughs flawlessly recited the prayer from the gallows just before his execution. The performance was dismissed as a devil's trick, and the hanging proceedings planned. Well, George Burroughs owned.
Let's find out if you're a witch, buddy. I've got the Lord's Prayer up here on the screen.
Now, I went to Medbury Catholic School, so I should I should be able to do this one.
Well, we'll find out.
All right.
Because I will be burning you after the show if you are a witch, son.
Okay. Pray then like this. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Okay, you looking pretty smug right now. You think you got there without an error?
Was that an out-of-date one?
That word there, buddy. Hallowed be your name?
Yes.
Isn't it hallowed be your name?
That's not how we pronounced it in Medbury. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Dude, pronunciation. Go to YouTube pronunciation.
It's another frickin'
pronounce hallowed. Pronounce hallowed, because I want to find if I'm burning death or not. This matters.
Pretty sure you said hallowed.
I did. But they pronounce it kind of like, our Lord be your name, or hallowed be your name, or whatever.
Pronunciation. This is good listening.
All right.
Doing things.
All right. Come on.
Bringing it up. Here we go. Hallowed.
No! Burn at the stake!
Got some water on you, mate. Fucking melt you. Is that what takes out that witch in Wizard of Oz? Just straight up water?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Fuck, that's weak, eh?
You know what? That was also the plot of the movie Signs.
Water?
Yeah.
It is too!
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You'd think the
Well, you'd think the aliens wouldn't come to a fucking planet that is majority water. If that was the case.
You would think the sort of moisture in the atmosphere would be, would be kind of get it. Yeah.
Fuck, they would hate a rainy day. Forget about that guy who accused that lady of being a witch.
M. Night Shyamalan really fell off, dude. Well, I remember we went to watch that. Not all of his twisted shit. By the way, I would say spoiler alert, but I think this is good if this pissed you off watching those movies, because they're shit, so
go on and beans.
Spoil all of them.
If it didn't come out this year.
Funnily enough, the Devil Elevator movie did look kind of cool, but it probably isn't.
Harsh U-turn there. You completely turned around yourself.
Probably just the trailer. Probably a terrible movie. Now, we went to watch The Village. Did you see that one?
Yes. No, I did not.
Worst plot twist ever. So it's all this kind of weird kind of, sort of like Salem times, right? But not witch trials, just people in this village, and they speak like this. Come hither, Mary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, go to the prom. Yes.
Is this movie shit? Yes. Anyway, it's some kind of mystery about people going missing and stuff in the commune. And then you just find out at the very end, it's actually modern times. They just have this sort of weird Amish cult they set out in the wilderness.
Oh,
That's it. It's pretty much, that's a twist. Done.
right.
Yeah.
Did the Village People do the soundtrack?
No.
No? No.
I'm pretty sure it was an original
I've never seen
score.
it, so... Horror films, do they get you? Or do you get them? Do you get spooked when you watch them?
Generally speaking, no, although I do think The Shining is a really good... And The Shining is a good example that there's actually not much raw violence in it, right?
Yeah.
It's just... The thing about that movie, right, is everything about it, literally everything is scary. For instance, the panning shot at the very start, it's just a car driving along the coastline toward the hotel. That shit's scary.
Yeah.
Just the angles is all wide and the road just sort of spinning and winding, and they've got
is a
that
spooky
atmospheric
little guy,
music.
that
Yeah.
one.
Just classic Kubrick, man. Just puts everything of him into that film. Just brings everything out.
Do you get scared easily?
I mean, people sneaking up on me and kind of, I guess.
Startling you?
Yeah, I get startled easily, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But scared?
What about of the dark, things like that? Or just like imagining things. So stuff that's not even there, and your rational brain's like, no, it's fine, there's nothing there. But then your childhood brain kicks in, you're like, oh shit, but what if there is some man behind that lamppost? Then before you know it, you're running home from rugby practice, and you got your keys between your knuckles because you're terrified that someone's going to jump out of a bush and get you. You sprint the whole way home.
Not like that, but you know what does sort of get me?
Oh, me neither. I've never done that in my life.
Not like that, but you know what does kind of get me is I might be reading, say, a big Reddit post, like on wait.
Okay.
On Ask Reddit, they sometimes post questions like, "What's the scariest thing that ever happened to you?"
Okay. Yeah,
or
yeah.
"What's like a paranormal event that you've
I
experienced?"
thought you just like 5,000 upvotes. That's
Yeah.
scary.
No, yeah, exactly. I get that's where you were going. No. So, and some people do submit really kind of chilling, scary, spooky stories.
Yeah.
And if I read them for an extended period of time and it happens to be night and I go to bed, then I might sort of like kind of like look over my
Oh, I'd
shoulder.
love to see it.
Yeah.
Little Matthew in bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess that kind of brings it out of me. What about you? I mean, you said no, but do you like find your?
I used to a lot more than I do now. I think walking home used to always get me, but now I think what the difference is alcohol. Now when I'm walking home at night, I'm generally steamed, so I don't have time to think about it.
Oh, I get.
But if I'm walking home sober at night, and it's an unfamiliar street or whatever, I will turn over the shoulder and I might see a lamppost and think, well, I guess someone could have easily just stepped behind that quickly. And then if I'm walking down an alley and there's like a lot of bushes or anything like that, we'll get a little bit paranoid, start walking fast, and that walk turns into a straight up sprint all the way home.
Surprised it's alcohol, because normally I guess marijuana will be the culprit for that kind of thing, right?
No, well, that relaxes me completely.
Right.
If I'm stoned or drunk, it's like, it's sweet ass.
I understand.
It's like I'm immune to murder and rape if I'm drunk, which is not the case. If anything, I'm more vulnerable to it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I did once. Me and my friend made green tea in Sydney.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just ginseng, right?
And that really caught up with me. And then it was my turn to walk down to the store and get pizza.
Yeah.
And
Good turn. So this was in the first trip to the pizza store
it's
that
like
day?
a once a week thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So we'd take turns. And that wasn't fun because it really caught up with me and I had to make that walk. And we lived in the middle of the city too, so there's all kinds of strange people around. Scary people like Aboriginals.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm just saying, in the city in Sydney, okay? It's a joke. It's a joke, people.
Weird character choices.
But-
You went from like a guy from the South's voice, and he's going against the Aboriginals.
No.
Like Southern America. I suppose that's kind of spooky.
Spooky times. I don't know. I guess that's more British, isn't it, that one? Yeah. So I can see how substances would bring it out of you, would bring that paranoia out of you. Speaking of those scary stories on Reddit, man, that's one thing that got me to thinking about how it's strange what is scary in writing. Like, things that on paper, in theory, are quite arbitrary,
Yeah.
can just have a spooky quality to them.
Okay.
There was one thing I read in No Sleep, which I later found out No Sleep is for fiction. But it's fiction where you're supposed... The whole idea behind it is you write it as if it's real, and all commenters, repliers have to act as if it's real. And that's sort of the community there.
Right.
And I read one which I didn't know was fake at the time. I didn't know No Sleep was like that. And I guess I should have known this was fake just by virtue of the fact that it was so outlandish. But, some writers are really good at pulling you in, and I guess I just sort of suspended disbelief and went with it. So he wrote as if he was a rescue worker, a search and rescue officer. And he said, look, during my time I come across some weird things. And there's all these crazy weird stories, right? But then the last one, and this is the example of so arbitrary, but so you just go, ugh. He goes, okay, here's the other thing that if you ever meet someone in search and rescue and you pick their brain long enough, they'll admit this happened. You can check. If you go deep into the woods in North America, let's say 20, 30 miles in, there's stairs. And when I say stairs, I mean just trying to describe what I mean here, right?
Yeah.
It's like a full... imagine a video game where something's glitched and so there's a flight of stairs and nothing else around it. It's like that. And there's no set of stairs is exactly the same. Some are just a straight staircase. Some are just spiral staircase. Yeah, there's just stairs. And the first time I saw it freaked me out. And the guy I was with just said, look, don't worry about them. Don't go touch them. I know what you're talking about, but stay away from them and you're fine. And then after a while, I just I don't even think about it anymore. I just see them, And it was just something about stairs in the woods, and it just
stairs. Can I be completely honest right now?
Right,
does nothing to me.
Maybe it's
what
the way
is it about the stairs that get you?
I don't know. Maybe it was the way it was written or something.
Yeah,
because I'm not the only one. That's the highest voted post of all time. In No Sleep.
Really?
But yeah, it was something about that weird...
stairs.
Yeah, just weird, creepy...
Do you get a little creeped out when you walk on regular stairs now?
No, but it's... Okay,
what would be spooky is if there was an escalator in the middle of all these forests. They'd be like, what the fuck?
Why would that be weirder than the stairs? Because the whole thing... I guess the thing...
there's power out there. What's powering the escalator?
I guess. Okay, I'll give you that. But the whole thing that makes it creepy is it's something that has no business being somewhere. That's why it's creepy.
But what if the little forest animals are working out? They're doing little stair lunges.
Never seen beavers build flights of stairs before.
Just dams, huh?
Yeah. Haven't actually seen beavers build dams, to be honest. Only heard about it.
That's a myth, mate. They don't build dams. It's all a lie. Just came out, actually.
Oh, man.
CNN. They're talking about it. They're all talking about it. All the big boys. Fox. NBC. All the newscasters.
So what have they been up to all this time?
No one knows. No one knows. No, that's the mystery. I'm beginning to wonder if beavers even exist.
What's the scariest sort of movie you've ever seen or story you've read? Opening it up.
Scariest story or movie? Oh, mate, I don't know, to be honest. I get scared by real life more than the movies, the screen, I think. It's the scariest thing in real life. Maybe just... Okay, I wish there was something that I'd seen that was scary, but it's stuff I invent in my head. It's not real things.
Right. What do you
invent in your head? It's my imagination is the scariest thing.
What are you scaring yourself with all day?
Just inventing that there's going to... Again, going back to that, there's going to be a fellow who's going to just come and rape me anally, over and over.
Right. Is this more of a fantasy than a fear?
Mate,
Secretly?
Come on. Rape me anally over and over.
People have rape fantasies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not me. That's no. As
okay.
Yeah. I'm a Nick guy.
You're just right. You're just freaking yourself out, right?
Yeah. Big time,
okay.
man. I guess maybe just that. I don't know. I think I get sad before I get scared.
Sad before you get scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the same if I'm on certain things. When some people get paranoid and start freaking out and get scared about something, I'll just get a little bit sad. I'll be like, oh, that sucks. And then just for about half an hour, I'll be like wallowing, but then just back to it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. Not scared easily. The spiders, not bothered by snakes and stuff. That doesn't really do it to me. It's all shit in my head, man. It's my brain. That's my own worst enemy in terms of fear.
And honestly, we were talking about the scary movies before, right? I've got a theory that I don't think the vast majority of people are scared by them. I think those are made so, like, you know, guys and girls just make out. You know, so they can both pretend to be afraid or whatever. So they've got an excuse to kind of cuddle up or whatever.
The scary stuff
But most people go to watch it for, like, I used to watch them with my friends to laugh whenever someone got brutally murdered. We'd be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. You know, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is just it's the suspense of when is that really fucking loud noise going to happen. That's what's scary about most horror films.
That
are made
is,
today.
yeah, the big, yeah. Which is why those films like The Shining are so impressive, because very little of it is that cheap kind of, like anyone, because anyone can do it, right?
That's their fucking equivalent of you're standing by a river and someone comes up behind you and pushes you and says, "Oh, saved you." It's like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't, mate. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I was enjoying the view, and now you've come and ruined it.
I hate that kind of humor too.
I hate that shit.
Why is that funny that you
The
just
worst.
made me uncomfortable for 3 seconds?
Yeah. Same with the rib jab. People will come up behind you and give you the little "too" in the ribs.
Or the big backslap too.
Ooh.
The kind of, dude, buddy.
Don't startle me. I'm already terrified inside.
That's what pissed me off about that. That's what pissed me off about that John Key story, right?
Yep. Key-man.
The
Which one?
pigtails one.
Oh, buddy.
Or the ponytail one.
Yeah.
So just to fill in our foreign listeners,
Mm-hmm.
Prime Minister John Key, who's actually broadly very popular, got in a big trouble a year ago, 2 years ago, last year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He'd basically he'd been in a cafe and he used to do this joke where he pulled the waitress's ponytail from behind, went, "Oh, got you again, da da da."
Fuck that
And
out loud,
she had sort of demonstrated, without explicitly saying, but she had sort of demonstrated that she didn't like it, or she felt indicated that a socially intelligent person would pick it up. And I guess one day she kind of blew up at him. And, "Would you stop doing that?" or something along those lines, right? And then he kind of went, rushed out of his car, bought back a couple bottles of wine. Sorry, no, mind what it. And then, and then I guess it stopped after that, or he stopped frequenting the cafe or something along those lines. And it came out around election season that happened, and it was a whole thing about, I guess, how it was sort of framed as women in service are often harassed or what have you. My take on it was more like, I think what he did was wrong, but I came from a perspective of I just hate that buddy humor in general.
Yeah.
It's like it could be pulling a ponytail, it could be like pat on the head, or like grip up from behind, or like quick buddy stab, or
sack tap me.
Oh yeah,
Come and get
stuff
you
like that. Yeah,
smack you in the test,
all
you know.
that kind of stuff, man. Which
Yeah.
I guess like 20-30% of the population just love.
Yeah.
I've never been into it. Just kind of, dude, why?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like when people do it to me. I've never liked being told to do it to people. When you get caught in a room and people are doing it, it becomes that game.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen these days. Because now when you're growing up, you just tell people to fuck off.
Yeah.
You can't do that really when you're a kid.
I don't really tell them to fuck off. I just kind of like look at them like, or kind of laugh, but in a way that kind of shows like, yeah.
For the listener, Matt's looking like he's bit into a lemon. Is the face he's pulling right now?
Oh yeah, I was trying to convey that through the tone, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you didn't get that from the tone, that's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah.
There we go. Hey, should we give Gary a call and then
Yep.
jump back into the Halloween stuff? Got some stuff I want to bring up about trick or treating and that. But I just want to make sure, because as you said earlier,
Okay.
45% it's not great.
All right.
So we can get him on the line.
All right, I'm just pulling them up now. Just give me 1 second. Hello,
Gary.
Oh, Gary, mate. Gary, you got your missus' phone there, right? Do you?
Yeah, got a phone.
Probably shouldn't answer other people's phones, Gary. Not great manners.
No, she lent it to me because mine's dead.
Oh, okay. All right, so people can.
Fair dues, mate.
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, Gary. Sorry about last week, mate.
Not that happy about it.
Neither are we, buddy.
Yeah, no, neither are we, mate. Neither are we.
I shouldn't have done that.
Well, okay, but let sleeping dogs lie,
Gary, we can't talk too long. We made a show, mate. But what are your chances of surviving?
Yeah, no, we're glad to hear, because I heard you were conscious, but glad to hear that confirmed.
Oh, no, I reckons up pretty high. Pretty high chance.
Sorry, what? Reckons are pretty high in English, mate. What are you saying?
Doctor thinks it's gonna be alright.
Doctor think. Can you hear yourself, Gary?
Lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Not really an excuse for poor diction, though, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And terrible grammar.
Well, but didn't get much school in.
No,
Oh, well, obviously,
Yeah,
we can tell.
I guess, yeah, sure.
Well, again, sorry, mate, and
You're going to be able to, you cool with us sending you just the cut this week if you do some post-production on?
Pretty pretty tired.
Could you get your MIDI to do it, mate?
Yeah.
Get the missus to do it?
Not really an engineer.
But I mean, you are sort of bedridden, right?
And to be fair, neither are you, to be honest,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, true. You are, yeah, but you're bedridden, right, Gary? Yeah, I mean, what else you got to do?
Maybe like watch some TV.
I'll bring you.
I mean,
I'll bring you
yeah.
donut. I'll bring you donut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two donuts.
Okay. I'll bring you 2 donuts.
Jam filled.
Wow, he's pushing
Okay,
it.
yeah, I really, Gary. I mean, I know we cut off your finger, but we didn't cut off an arm, mate. It's
Yeah,
an
buddy.
honest mistake.
Oh, 2 donuts.
2 donuts. All right.
2 donuts, jam
2
filled.
donuts. All right.
We'll get him to hospital. All right. Well, rest up, bud.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right, boy.
Drives a hard bargain, there, Gary. Honey.
You know what I'm wondering?
Yeah.
What if this becomes, because we may have made a mistake there.
What?
We're going to take him donuts, right? What if he starts milking this thing? And every week he's like, oh, I didn't get schooling, and but this and that. Before we know it, we're doing 2 donuts a week just to get him to do the producing of the show.
Well, we'll just.
How do we know he's not faking it?
I reckon we just see the doctor, make sure we get sort of a certificate that he's all right,
Yeah.
and just hold it in his face if he
Yeah.
tries to do that, right? Because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get bled to death just because we cut one finger off of a audio producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah.
also, what we might need to do.
Wow.
Yeah, it's grey. Might need to go back and before we actually send him the episode, is just cut that bit at the start where we would talk about the parchment all being a ruse. Because if he hears that, he's not going to want to do any work, to be honest.
Right. Okay. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might need to.
Maybe I could pop that back in and post though, because I think that's a good disclaimer to have.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Sweet.
Yeah, because he can never listen to the show online.
No, Gary's not a loyal fan.
In fact,
He's just in it for the money. Well, I mean, the money, the donuts.
you know how
He's
he
in it
said
for
to me
the-
the other day?
What?
He was on Google Chrome. Mm-hmm. He was on the browser. He'd opened the browser, Google Chrome,
Yep.
and I witnessed him. He went up top in the browser and he typed Google into that to get to the Google homepage.
Yeah.
Kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
Love him though. Do love him.
Yep.
Love him.
No, hope he heals up soon.
Thoughts and prayers are with you, Gary. Halloween though.
Yeah.
Halloween. It is coming up. Do you trick or treat?
What, now?
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever?
Yeah.
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 What was did you ever a particular year where you're like, this costume is fucking amazing?
No, I never put much effort in. The best one I ever made was I was going to sort of a teenage Halloween party, and I dressed up as Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs. So I had the
yeah.
Reservoir Dogs suit and a full bloody, bottom half of my body, I've
Yeah,
been
buddy.
shot in the abdomen.
That's a goodie.
Yeah, so I did that.
Did you ever get any smart ass adult saying trick?
When
You know when you go to do trick or treat?
Yeah.
They say, oh yeah, trick, let's see it, kids. Mm-hmm. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
How creepy is that move, by the way?
Well, we would do the smoke bombs.
The what?
Smoke bombs.
Ah.
You never do, I mean,
I
not...
just did a little dance for these adults.
No.
And at that point, it's kind of gross.
No, we were punks, man, so...
oh, shit. Mid-record.
You just kind of leave
rebelling.
it's not like it did anything, but you just sort of leave a smoke bomb in the driveway
Yeah.
as sort of you'd be like, all right, never mind, and you leave a smoke bomb.
I wish I thought of that, man. I was just did this gross, weird dance, and then they give you a lolly, and then you're like, I don't feel good about this at all.
Right.
Yeah. They'd say, we want to see a trick, and just hold on, I'll just go grab the camera. Felt horrible about that.
Right. Well, we had a joke once where we had a sheep's tooth. I guess we just found a sheep's skull while we were out camping, and we
Yep.
got a tooth. And so when they asked for trick, we'd show it to them and go, Elvis was really pissed off when we took this one. I was dressed up as Satan, sorry. There's an important
yeah.
context for that story. But yeah, just like Satan. So that was, sort of a trick. I guess it's a joke more than a trick. But,
Yeah.
whatever. It was pretty smart for an 8-year-old.
Smarter than just doing a gross little dance.
True.
The other thing as well, I was going to ask you about. Do you reckon? Because we had a lecture earlier this week about gender marketing, right? And there's some parents who they're now wanting to raise their kids gender neutral because they don't want to influence
Right.
the way they want their boys to think, yeah, I can play for Barbie, and they want their girls to think, yeah, I can play for truck.
Hey, quick aside.
Yeah.
You know what pissed me off about that lecture is they played a Fox News clip where they're saying, what was it that got me? So the Fox News people are sort of making fun of it and going, oh my God, what's that all about? And I think it was the lecturer who said, it's amazing that people think it's such a big deal. But the reason that Oh, so this is about Target, like, saying there's no, like, we're not going to make there's the context for it, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, it's amazing.
Target said...
Some people think it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe. But the reason Target did it is because the other side of the debate said it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
That they were segregated. So if it's not a big deal, why is it a big enough deal that we have to, mix it up? I don't give a shit either way, man. If I had a daughter or a boy, I'd happily go to the if my girl wanted more of a tomboy thing, I'd just go to the boys section, and I'd be happy to browse a mixed one either way. It's fine, whatever.
Just to give everyone a bit of context,
yeah.
You're referring to when Target removed its gender bias signs in the toy section.
I assume most
you
people
told the whole story, and I don't think.
Because sometimes I overthink things, and that time I guess I explain and underthought. But that's what I'm referring to. So they played a clip of like Fox being outraged and saying, "Oh my god, can you believe it's such a big deal?" But it's like, well, yeah, but you think it's a big deal, so don't get all high and mighty about it. You think it's a legitimate cultural fight.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who really doesn't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if you change it. I don't care if you keep it the same. Just whatevs, man.
Gender marketing's there for a reason, so people can make money. It's like it works. I don't know. Let them do it. And also kind of good if you got like think about the uncle who doesn't really know his nephew. He's never really visited him, and he's got to get him a birthday present for his 13th. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what the fuck to get.
Yeah.
Maybe those signs help that guy out. He's like, well, at least this is probably going to be more likely.
Yeah, and you can talk about gender norms and stuff all you want in society and stuff, but look, today, right now, if you go out to buy a present for any given boy, 95% probably going to be pretty pissed off if you get him a Barbie.
Yeah.
It's not a 50-50, is it? It's not,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But...
Yeah, sorry, getting back on track.
Wait. They're talking Halloween, talking costumes. Oh, one thing I was going to ask you is, do you think there's anything in... Because I have heard of parents who, a boy say, I want to dress up as a fairy, or a girl might say, I want to dress up as a rugby player, and their parents say, no, that's what girls do, or no, that's what boys do. Do you think there's anything in clues in terms of what people wear to dress up, what they decide they want to do?
Yeah.
In terms of what... Like, will that affect them later in life, or is that just a clue as to what they're already going to become later in life in terms of sexuality, or maybe?
Sorry. So, do you think the way people choose to dress up when they're younger indicates what they're going to be like when they grow up? Whether that be sexuality or whether that be like
or like tomboyishness or whatever.
If they dress up as a werewolf, maybe that means they'll be really masculine. Or if they dress up as like Dracula, maybe that means they'll be kind of creepy even.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think there's something in that?
Look, honestly, I think case by case, right?
Because I wore a lot of dresses when I was young.
Yeah.
And I even 3 years in a row for Halloween, I found when I was at the dump once with Dad, and it was in the section where people just throw shit out, and I found this rubber mask, and what it was like a rubber mold of a middle-aged woman's face, and it fit my head perfectly. Mm-hmm. It looked fucking creepy, but I used to love wearing it around the house. And 3 years in a row for Halloween, I just wore that with a dress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a bisexual man, do you think that was proofs in the pudding kind of thing, or is that just...
No, but you were describing girl shit, but you're not actually an effeminate
But a feminine
man.
side.
Technically, is it? Because, I mean, some gay guys are feminine, like, act very feminine, so it gets associated with femininity, but feminine and masculine are more behavioural traits in terms of just out,
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that really does. Like, to me, I guess a more befitting one would be, I'm just trying to think, like if you dressed up like a bisexual person, or if
what
you,
do they look like?
or if you grew up to be transsexual, or you grew up to be a drag queen, or you grew up possibly to be particularly effeminate. And some people don't even like describing it as effeminate or feminine versus masculine. Personally, I've got no issue with those descriptors, so go fuck yourself. But I mean, no, I don't really think that's a good case study example.
Yeah,
because you're not really. Yeah, you don't really act like a chick.
There's a lot of years I was a fairy, a lot of years I was woman's clothes and things.
I guess it shows you're open-minded, you're not sort of tied to any particular...
And open-minded parents though, because they would just, whatever I wanted to wear, they'll be like, let's make this costume.
I imagine my parents would have been like that too, but I guess it was more laziness than anything on my part. I just wanted a mask. So, it's the devil, great, I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm like that too now. I can't remember the last time I put real effort into.
I always remember feeling
Halloween
disappointed every Halloween, every time I went trick or treating, because it was built up to be this magical thing on Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, any Halloween episode or any Halloween movie. It was massive in the States. But I'm wondering if that's the peanut butter and jelly effect. You know how good peanut butter and jelly sandwiches seemed on American cartoons?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
The characters would go nuts for them, like they're crack cocaine.
Yeah, right.
They are not that good. Like, they're okay, but they're like, it's just a fucking, it's dry ass bread, sticky peanut butter. It's not that good. You'd rather have a ham sandwich at any age, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you're in a real mood for peanut butter and jelly.
You kind of like them.
Or just peanut butter.
Yeah.
For that matter.
I don't know. Maybe that's just something that I got from cartoons. I was like Halloween and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They always seem way better on TV than they did in real life.
By the way, quick correction, so I don't have to do it next week. I did actually cross-dress once, but it was in my adult life. For Halloween, I mean, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You actually went to a party as Marge Simpson?
No, just like, I guess it was another lazy one, right? I just went, well, I'll fucking just dress like a girl. Yeah, fine. I'll just go to the dollar shop and buy like a cheap little silk fucking dress.
Yeah.
It was even, you've seen the picture, because it was earlier in the year when we got into class, everyone on Facebook stalked each other and like posted funny pictures.
By the way,
they found me in a dress.
I'm hoping one day that come summer, dude in a dress, totally normal. Because those things are fucking breezy. No underwear, just walking around freeballing. It is lovely. You got your sleeveless dress, your arms are breathing, your armpits are breathing, your bollocks are swinging in the wind.
My old media teacher
Beautiful.
my old media teacher in high school was a real believer in it.
Yeah?
He used to wear kilts and sort of like denim
See,
skirts.
that's the man skirt, the kilt.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to
But
have
he wore denim skirts too.
pretend to claim Scottish heritage of some sort.
But he wore proper denim skirts too. So
right.
Yeah, and he just I think he was really inspired by, was it Versace or some big fashion icon?
Wouldn't know.
Was also a big proponent of why can't men wear skirts. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I never really thought about it. Jeans aren't that uncomfortable to me.
Yeah.
But never tried a skirt though.
The middle of the hot summer, whack on a skirt, start drinking gin. That sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hold it against a person.
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up.
Yep.
It's not completely on topic, Halloween. It's a story I heard this week though.
Cast broad, mate. Cast it broad.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to cast this one very broad. I just heard this and I was like, no fucking way. And then fact checked it and yes way. It's about Alice Parkinson. Mm-hmm. She was a Kiwi, or is a Kiwi. Oh, no, she's dead now. But was a Kiwi when she was alive.
Oh, she's dead.
Was a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Married to this fella. Really in love with him. No one really knows how they met. They got together, started banging. She got pregnant. Now, this is around the time where there was a bit of a stigma if you, if you get it wasn't uncommon to bang before you were married, but it was if you did have the child and you weren't married, then people would be like, yeah, you can't work anymore, lady.
How old was she, sorry?
I don't know. Let's go 22, eh?
Okay, so today wouldn't be a big...
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like a shame when you
back
family.
then, thing. So she was putting a lot of pressure on this guy to get married, and he was kind of saying, yeah, once the baby's born, we'll get married for sure. Just keep kind of putting it off that way. The day of the birth, she has an, I may get this name wrong, I think it's it's a trans something birth, where the baby's horizontal, he's not vertical.
I know what you mean. They do
Coming
like
out of
C-sections for that quite a lot these days, because I think they can tell it's going to happen. Yeah.
Back then, she's bloody conscious the entire time. Just keep that in mind while this is going on.
Okay.
Because the baby couldn't go out, it was either you both die or one of you dies. So at that point, the doctors, and it might just be back then, I don't know if it's still the case, but they were legally bound to save her rather than the child.
Okay.
So the way they used to do this, and maybe they still do, this is the first thing that I was like, what the fuck? They, inside her, dismember the child to get it out of her, conscious the entire time. So this is the trauma she's going through.
Oh, shit.
Then she somehow survives the birth. The baby doesn't, of course, but she survives the birth, and immediately just like a mess in hospital, and then wants to just get me out of here. I need to see my man. We're going to get married. She's holding on to that small thread that he is going to marry her after the birth. He doesn't want to. She writes him a letter, and he writes him back, and he does not want to marry her at all. And he digs his heels in, and she starts going after his family, going after everybody he knows, and writing them all letters saying, can you turn this guy around? He's being a scoundrel. He promised me after the birth we'd get married, and when he's now saying he doesn't want to get married. So she shoots him. She gets a gun
Okay.
and clocks him 3 times.
Yeah.
And then she shoots herself in the head. an attempted murder-suicide. But she doesn't die. She shoots herself in the fucking head and somehow survives it. Goes on, get all worked up thinking about it. It's just fucked up the whole thing.
Does it say resolution to the story?
And then
Prison, I guess.
Then,
jail?
well, she goes to trial.
Yeah.
She goes to trial, and she gets put away.
Uh-huh.
But then there's
She
a
didn't
bit
shoot
of
a guy, to be fair.
She actually
He
murdered
was a
a guy.
scoundrel, but
Attempted suicide. She got put away. But she had this really amazing Irish lawyer, and he painted this real beautiful picture of the trauma she faced when she was going through birth. Not beautiful picture, horrific picture, sorry. Did a really good job.
I know what you mean, but it was very vivid. It was very vivid, yeah.
But still couldn't convince the jury that she was innocent, so she goes away. But then what happened, there was a bit of groundswell around this, initially around the village, and then around the whole of New Zealand, that maybe she shouldn't be in prison, because people started hearing her story and thought maybe we should let her out. And she started writing letters to the public, and people were writing letters to her, and people started protesting. And they set up a petition, and I think it was 100,000 people signed this. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind that during the time that this took place, New Zealand's population was only around about 1 million. So that's a tenth of the entire population were like, yeah, let's get her out. Let's get her out of prison. She gets enough groundswell. She gets released.
Yep.
And then goes on to just live a regular life. 6 kids with a guy she's happily married to. Headaches from the bullet that's still in her fucking head.
Yeah.
But other than that, isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
It's fucked up. And
But it
all
could-
true. I fact-checked it all. It's insanity.
Hey, but good to know that in New Zealand there's a legal precedent now that, you know, if you're a chick and a guy just really scorns you, it's okay to murder him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
crazy.
Good.
So slightly off topic, but
All
just
right.
listening. So if you want to hear more about
that's-
it, Alice Parkinson, there's Radio New Zealand do a podcast.
Well,
on
hey, no,
it.
it's a horror story because it'll definitely keep the cads of New Zealand up at night.
Yeah.
Or the woman they're wronged. Okay. On that note, shall we go into
Let's do the lightning round, bud. Finish off with that.
lightning round? Tom, are you ready? Prepare yourself.
Ready, bud? Lay it on me. Hit me.
Actually, I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the show. I guess I'm doing it to interrupt the flow of the lightning round. You asked me a question, basically, and I put it back on, or you answered it yourself, I think, which is in my lightning round. But let's get it out of the way. You're trick-or-treating, I choose trick. What's your go-to move?
The little dance.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
there
see
you
what
go.
happens.
Okay, so,
Okay.
But that's not really lightning strikes. That's
Lightning
just,
round disappointing.
Yeah, okay, only 3 this week. Restart! Tom, get ready, 3 questions. Tom,
Yo.
you're the villain in a slasher movie.
Yeah, buddy.
You're about to enter a house, you're about to enter a house containing a black guy,
Okay.
2 teens having sex upstairs,
Oh, no.
and another dude smoking weed out front.
Yeah.
Who do you kill first?
Oh. First, I got to kill them all eventually.
Well, I mean, maybe, but you definitely got to kill one of them now.
Okay, the guy smoking pot, because he's probably going to be a little bit docile.
Right.
A little bit startled because of the weed. I could probably even just sleek over, have a little hit myself, and then whoodah, slash him.
Okay,
Slash
cool.
him. Do I do the rest of them in the order?
Yeah, I guess, sure, why not? With bonus!
Bonus! And then I'm going to go on and kill the black guy.
Yep.
Only because he's on his own. The other 2, if I'm killing them, I'm going to kill both of them. So there's a
But they're
chance that one of them will get
preoccupied.
away, or they might, well, when people are
They're
banging...
preoccupied. The black guy
Yes,
is
but keep this in mind, Matthew.
Whoa.
When people are
I'm
fucking...
just chilling out in the living room, sucker!
Well, exactly. If it's just chilling out, boom, that's when I get them. That's when I get the
Ow.
sucker. But
Right.
the people who are having sex, they're in the primal mode. They're fucking werewolfing. They're fucking hulking right now. They're not Bruce Banner. So you go in there, they're startled. He could get in protective mode, fucking protect her. She might do the same thing to him. That's 2 people you got to take down. So I want that one. I'll save that one for last.
Hey, while we're just
slash
taking
them both.
while we're just taking a look, let's do an extra bonus. I was just thinking, here's not what I would do because I'm not just answering my own question this year. But here's the way I think it would go if
Would you
I
let them
was.
finish? Would you let them finish? I'd let them finish.
Kind of look for a while.
When
Depends on the horror
because
villain.
then they'll be like, they'll relax. Yes. And then...
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that in Mike Myers. Mike Myers seems the kind of guy who'd like just sit in the corner.
Yeah.
And then the way I reckon it would go if I was a typical screenwriter, I reckon teens having sex followed by a black guy, and I reckon dudes smoking weed would live. Because isn't it normally
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it normally the kind of like the dope who always gets away? Because there's something, people have an affinity for that, right?
Yeah, they do like that
It's
guy.
just the dude who kind of just by chance always avoids getting in trouble, even though he should be the guy who gets.
Yeah.
When really you should want the idiot to get Not that stones are idiots, but I'm just saying like that's the way they're portrayed. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, cool. All right, second question. Start delayed. Boom, boom, boom. Get ready. You're in trouble. All right, Tom, prove you're not a sorcerer now.
Okay. Right. How am I going to do this? Quickly. Prove I'm not a sorcerer.
5, 4.
If I was a sorcerer, I would have a brilliant answer for this question. And I just had a real boring one.
Okay, fine. I don't reckon to help you in Salem, but it's good enough for me.
And I wouldn't let you cut my fucking finger off a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, yeah. I did. Tom, you've been bitten by a vampire. How do you pass time for the rest of eternity?
Make out, because we're both neck guys. That's the ultimate neck guy, by the way, the vampire, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, so if I was a spooky man,
Best
I would be
cookies
a
of all
vampire.
time, or worst
Oh,
cookies of all time.
Okay, spinning it round. You ready for your side of the lightning round?
Oh, I'm strapped in.
You ready, buddy? Buckle up, put that seatbelt on. Okay, first question. Easy one. Dressing up this year?
Look, I'm at least going to go. This is an idea from my friend Henry. If I am lazy enough that I can't really get a proper one, I'm just going to write Idaho on a piece of paper and tape it to my chest and be Ralph Wiggum.
I like it.
Doing Idaho, yep.
Which horror movie character would you least like to have come after you?
Freddy Krueger, because stuck in a dream, it's impossible to get away.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fucked, eh? That guy's fucked.
Yep.
You're a low-life nobody wannabe schmuck screenwriter, and I'm a Hollywood big shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at making a new horror film. You've got to pitch an idea to me to get the ball rolling on this movie. What do you got?
Ghoulie Grabber. This is a horror villain who goes around and harvests men's testicles
Yeah.
so that he can sell them on the black market. His trademark is simply coming up behind men and ripping their balls off. I think it would have a real visceral appeal to men. They would be like, "Oh!" like legitimately
Yeah, dude.
scared, right?
Fuck
that
yeah.
would be horrible to watch. So I reckon it's an untapped market is sort
I
of
like it.
penis stabbing kind of
Oh, fuck
horror
you.
movies. Yeah, I know, right? Isn't it a great idea? Look at that reaction from Tom.
Okay.
All right,
And the last one. Trick or treat?
treat.
There you go.
Thanks, mate.
Miming putting a lolly in his hand.
Yeah.
Well, that's all, bud. Halloween episode. Have a good Halloween, everybody. Go out and get lollies and get laid.
It was a cast.
Say goodbye to the show.
It was a cast.
Gary's still in hospital.
It was a cast.
We did the lightning round.
It was a cast.
The podcast. See you later, fuckers.